Hello and welcome to Jokakaka. I'm Jim,
I'm Sam.
and we're talking about the new chapter, the first chapter of 2021.
Always comes out the most weirdest times, I swear.
It really does, but I'm pretty excited. I was really hyped out for this one.
Oh yeah,
I don't
I
know
didn't
about
know what
you.
to expect, and let me tell you that is very true to, to this moment.
Yeah, I mean, so I think there's kind of an elephant in the room that I think maybe we should address.
Which one? There's no elephant in this
Um,
chapter.
so this actually has nothing to do with the chapter. This is
Oh,
not in. Oh, sorry. Let me just say that we're talking about chapter 104, Endless Calamity Part 10.
yeah.
Um, so recently in an interview, Hirohiko Araki, you might have heard of his name, said that JoJolion was very soon coming to a close.
Mm-hmm.
So what this has kind of put like a thought germ in my brain of like, is this the final arc? Like, is this
I think
it?
we're just on the last chunk of it. We're basically on the last quarter now because he literally didn't put a timetable on it, so he just like we're heading towards resolution, and it really had been feeling like that for like 2 years. So
Because for me, like the flash forward that we saw forever ago, that was what, like 20 chapters ago at this point,
yeah,
that
feels
made
like
it
it.
seem like we're gonna have so much more in the future. And not like a ton more, but it seemed like there was going to be like an additional like big threat slash reveal post Toru Head Doctor stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So
Uh, I
yeah.
don't. I feel like once the countdown started that we haven't seen it in I don't know how long. Like it felt like that was gonna be the last the last stuff is happening pretty much. And let me tell you, the body's already hitting the floor, so it feels like
I can't believe this. Okay, yeah, let's actually transition
it.
to talking about this chapter. I mean, it's one of those chapters where like a lot happens, but like not a lot happens. Like
Yeah,
it's like in the span of like 10 seconds, all this fucked up shit happens, and I'm just supposed to be here and taking it.
Gappy continues to smash. Yeah, and then there's a lot of repeat of just like Ray talking about like the bubbles and all that stuff that we've heard.
Yeah, I have to say, I am getting kind of sick of reading the same fucking line over and over
Talking
again.
about
And
calamities or talking about the spin or
yes, the answer is yes.
yes.
Um, I mean, not to sound like an ungrateful asshole or anything, but it is just kind of like I get it, I understand. I know there's a hidden aspect. Joshu at this point very much knows there's a hidden aspect.
Yes. He is not
Um,
under the influence of it, obviously.
yeah, nor does he really have control over it. But whatever. I mean, this is all like,
We'll get there.
yeah. So, um,
It's basically a lot of that repeat, and then we cut actually back to Kay walking into the room was born this way, and there goes Kay after walking into the room was born this way.
this is I mean, I get it. Like, I get it. Stakes are high, but
I mean, she even said, "I like okay." She came in looking to give the phone to Josuke, so if she technically had that mindset going into only like delivering the phone, maybe not attack the head doctor, she could have been okay. But she ended up with a cane in her eye, so
maybe, yeah. It's really funny. I feel like I've seen so many people talk about this fucking cane. I feel like there's going to be a lot of people exploding that the cane is what killed. I didn't even put that together initially. The cane is what hurt. I don't want to say killed, but actually I do want to say killed because we see Born
first,
This Way fade away.
yeah, like I mean, like I said, you gotta see that ghost first. But since this is Kay we're talking about, she doesn't need one. She's probably dead.
Yeah, I
She
mean,
she came back for like 2 chapters, 1 or 2 chapters, and she's fucking dead already, or like KO'd essentially. She's gonna get a really
KO'd.
cool eye patch though, if she does somehow live, or
If it's
somehow
not
takes a
like
low Kakaka.
if it's not like deeply lodged within her
What
brain,
if?
which I think it
I mean,
is.
she's right next to the Mamazuku, so they could equivalent exchange.
Damn, that'd be funny. Wouldn't it be funny, folks?
No, it
I don't
wouldn't.
know.
I know it's not gonna
This
happen. I just think it's stupid stuff.
this sucks. I like it just sucks.
It really
Like
does. It's just like get all this hype. Like, okay, I know, this is not a good. Just like equivalent if like right when Abdul came back in part 3, he got killed. Like Vanilla Ice came in and like 2 chapters later and just wiped him from existence.
Hmm.
Just the R.
Yeah, it hurts. It really hurts. And it's also like the thing that kind of gets me a little bit that's annoying is like Kay isn't really even a very fleshed out character.
She's not.
Like this isn't like a Okayasu having that sort of like death scare, near death moment.
Because, well,
Um,
we knew because yeah, him and Josuke were like best friends, and we kind of got that. But yeah, this is just like this is like a sibling he doesn't really have a relationship with. That's also a maid that also tried to kill him at one point.
Also, like Josuke here is like kind of a sociopath. Like his only reaction to seeing Kay is like, "Oh no, Kay!" Like that's really it. Like
Oh, look, a phone.
I know, like I understand that he's like dedicated and he's driven and like he's got to stop this bad guy, but seeing Rai die next to him and then seeing Kay just come in to die, I feel like he should be a little more shook. Maybe he's just in shock,
And
I guess.
in the time, I basically saw his mom like fall into a coma, like as well. So he's going through a lot of loss today. And
Yeah,
then,
damn, I didn't even realize that was the same day.
yeah, it literally caused him to sit in the chair for like chapters, plural.
Yes.
So, so,
Yeah.
so yeah, everyone pour one out for Kay because there she was and there she goes.
I mean, like you're not wrong that there is low kakaka on the ground. We do see Josuke like punch it. Okay, I think we need to kind of address the smoke in the air too.
The smoke.
So like if you look,
Maybe I thought that I was supposed to assume like the low cacao just like evaporating or like maybe that's in the air now or is
you might be right because we don't see it and then we see Josuke punch them and then we see it in the air. So is it supposed to be that? Oh, okay. Here's the thing. So we
or the
see
bubbles are
one of the
absorbing it.
bubbles passes through it.
Oh.
Do we think that maybe
Hmm.
Kay isn't dead? Maybe we're writing Kay off a little too soon.
I mean, the crumbling stands are always a good sign that someone's like not doing great.
At least on Death's Door. I mean, we did just see recently, and by recently, I guess this happened like 7 months ago. Yasuho's stand was totally like falling apart and dying, but she still came back from it. So it's not a complete like death
I mean, technically, look at
information.
Mamazuku. His hand still has doggy style going on. So
Okay, yeah, I think okay, maybe we should talk about that right at the very end because that's like something that we see at the very, very end. But
okay.
so yeah, Kay comes in to meet
She
Josuke, immediately dies and is like,
at least gets the
"Hey,
phone to him or accidentally bounces the phone over. These are some durable smartphones without any cases because I know knowing like people just drop their phone once and it just cracks like 10 times.
I know,
Especially
right?"
like 2011 when they wouldn't have like any kind of like heavy duty phone case.
Yeah, smartphones are relatively
Even though this is
uh
like a very modern 2011. Or
yeah, it's an extremely modern 2011. Um that's no, that's such a funny point though. Like this phone is fine.
it happened a
But yeah,
couple of times with
so
his phones just falling to the ground or like all that stuff. So
oh
so just a running gag.
yeah. Okay, so yeah, the phone goes over to Josuke and before so as that's happening, we see Born This Way is crumbling. We also see the fun I know it's like it's one of those things that's like it's not much but it's something like seeing Toru like bleed in his like actual Toru form like being
Kind of shocked.
affected is like such a good like yeah we got him like
I mean,
we
just
hit him.
seeing like him coming down though afterwards to Yashiho is like extremely like oh shit. But he had to
Yeah,
put on his like tough face again though. He had to wipe the blood away and put on his big boy face. Which I thought
yeah
was
kind of
hysterical. Even the head doctor had a decent sized chunk out of his head. Like Toru looks okay.
yeah he's fine his brain Toru's brain is very big, Sam. He can
It's
use lose a couple pieces and it's
he
fine.
shifted it in his hair a little bit to the right, so it's fine. Or to
This
the
kind of
left.
thing though, like it kind of reminds me like of like Killua fighting what's his name? Yuppie
Okay.
in Hunter x Hunter where it's like you have this character that's like so strong and untouchable and then just like to have a few hits on them feels like such a huge triumph and it's such a
Yeah.
hype moment.
That's literally yeah, that's literally like that any fight with him is like that.
Hmm.
What's it
The
called
freaking
though?
head. Toru head doctor is just such a unkillable god stand that it's like if at least it's like also yes, we're coming near the end of this. Like he bleeds.
If he bleeds, we can kill it. The rule of the predator. But I do love when like he's on the phone though, and Paisley Park is just always behind him when he's on the phone. I kind of love that visual.
Oh, it's sick. Yeah, when Paisley Park showed up, I was like, it felt like because Josuke and Yasuo have been separated in the story for so long, at least
Huh. That is
in terms
puzzling.
of like
So this is
when
the
the
way
chapter comes out.
this is the way she sends Paisley Park over, and this is kind of like equivalent to the head Doctor Wonder Review because he's remote as well. So maybe we can get something with them because like if he goes, he's because we learn like shortly after that he's running away. He's literally like giving up this fight with Josie because he pretty much knows he has something like that can hurt him.
Yeah.
So maybe he work together with Paisley Park and like mess with the tech in the room or like lock him in. They can't lock him in the room because he can go through walls because that's the thing he can do.
Yeah, he's pretty as I said, pretty god tier unkillable.
As we said in our reward show, he can do whatever the fuck he wants.
Yeah, literally. And so yeah, we have what's kind of being set up and like kind of I want to keep coming back to your nut punch theory. Your Yasuo gets like I think that's also something that I want to like Yasuo getting the final blow. So we could have a situation where Yasuo punches Toru in real life and then her stand punches Wonder Review at the same
That's so
time.
cool. Or like, or she somehow uses like the bubbles to like get her to him, like that, or she
Hmm.
just delivers like the spin bubble to the doctor because her stand remotely like it can work in. It's like I wonder if you could probably work in various ways, even though she did get flushed and crumbled. Like she's not super far away, and like I think the rule of JoJo is like your stand gets less powerful the farther away you are with this remote stands for like, a good chunk of them, unless they
Well,
don't.
Paisley Park isn't really a remote stand, if I recall correctly. Like it seems like now it's not really. It
Yeah, I
initially
guess she
kind of
doesn't.
was.
She didn't show anything that she could see what's going on in Josuke's area, so I guess not.
Uh,
She just heard like, Paisley Park talking to him, telling him basically symbolizing the phone call.
yeah, but sometimes you can see through your stand's eyes.
Sometimes stands work right the way. It's really funny. It's just like I saw ASR on Twitter posted like a picture of like Wonder Review with a Yu-Gi-Oh card, but the text was like so small, like it's perfectly calculates like Wonder Review. So good. Like
It's funny. I saw that tweet and I didn't even read it because my brain saw Yu-Gi-Oh and my eyes glossed over.
you gotta be a big brain to understand Yu-Gi-Oh, Jim. God.
Truly, I'm of the smallest brains apparently.
Truly. So yeah. So basically, you get the information about Toru to Gappy that he's always been creeping around her for over 10 years, she says.
Hmm.
Like, so yeah, so now he knows that, and he basically gets the plot dump on him.
It kind of like seeing this and like especially I know the reason why I'm gonna bring it up again is because we just had it like 2 days ago. But in our like JoJo in 2020 video with X4, it's like we really talked about how like Toru is such a weird final villain or like main villain and because he's so recently introduced and like with this it's almost like Araki's trying to like post date him and like say oh no Toru's been here all along even though we didn't see him until like chapter 70.
Even that hair clip chapter, they haven't really like brought up yet, like could be tied to him as well. Most likely will be tied to him,
Yeah,
but
I don't
he
know.
hasn't
I'm
brought that
just
up in a while. So
no, yeah, you're right. I just am not a fan of Toru being main villain. Um, but I mean, I guess you gotta. That's the way the cookie crumbles.
I mean,
Whatever.
he's made the mistake of getting very close to Yashiho, and who Yashiho probably maybe her unless she had the nut punch, like somehow gonna be Joshu. And I think I think I called that could happen in like years ago of a chapter review of like Joshu being the jealous boyfriend, like having a fight and like Joshu somehow winning this fight. But I don't
Uh,
want him to get the win now, not anymore.
no, yeah. I think everyone's kind of. Well, I shouldn't say that because there's a lot of people that still love Joshu, but I
Joshu
mean, I
stands.
I don't really like care what happens to Joshu anymore. Like, I think it's better if he just keeps being used as like comic relief at this point.
As someone who's constantly suffering. But I mean,
Yeah.
she is suffering. But I mean, we'll just get to that. About he basically walks up Toru and just says stand stuff, saying about I don't know what's gonna happen. Calamity's coming. Give me the pot. I don't want the
Well, what
pot to
he
be destroyed.
says, so the big thing here is he's like, I've called him off. Like he's
Yeah,
no longer attacking Josuke.
which is
So
like unheard of in JoJo. Someone calling off their long range stand after like they're like, okay, this thing's up here. I'm gonna fuck off with that. But I
yeah,
was
this
thinking,
is kind of crazy.
but the interesting thing, since it is like is a remote, like an actual like puppet kind of stand, like it literally just tries to go back to. It looks like he's heading back to like the doctor room where Pangea Land walked. Like,
Hmm.
or is he? I don't know what he's trying to. That's what I'm assuming he's heading toward, because that's where he was like, kind of like in rest mode.
Yeah, it seems like he just needs to like leave. And so this is another thing that like
Because he's not
uh
completely like, he's like invulnerable now. He's just like, oh no, just gets chasing after him. He can still fucking like kill him.
uh-huh. Um so we've seen that the head doctor appears like all over, like even last I think it was in the last chapter we saw the head doctor hit like the figure, the Wonder of You, appear in front of Yasuho while Gappy was still fighting him.
Hmm.
So maybe this like original one, like this is like the core one. Kind of, I think I like speculated this.
Yeah,
Like,
I think he's talked about it a lot inside the end of the 2020 review.
yeah, everyone listen to our 2020 video if you haven't seen it.
Hmm.
Um, he's like this is the one that can take the damage, so he needs to make sure this one leaves. Like he can't just make it teleport away. Like it
Yeah,
needs to physically walk, even though it can like just walk through walls and shit.
where the other ones are more just to symbolize it, I guess. But some people could still see the non-core ones, though, like the people who are affected by it.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think you're right. It is just kind of like to symbolize calamity coming because
It can also be caught on camera though, as we shown, because when Mamazuki was in prison, like he literally took a picture of it and showed the guy, and the guy freaked out about it.
it's just it's one of those things that's like kind of annoying because it's like so that time then Jobin attacked it, like he just could not have physically won. Like there's literally nothing that he and Mitsuba could have done to prevent their death. Like they were just going to like have calamity happen to them.
Yeah,
It's just frustrating.
where Mitsuba now has to like, basically stand still with her like mutating child.
Yeah,
Like,
like if unless there is like a secret rule about the Wonder of You that negates its effect that we don't know about, it really just feels
hey,
unfair
hey
that it
man,
can just attack you
uh,
whenever and wherever.
Toru, as he kind of shows in this, like he does have a weakness of not understanding the limitations of his stand, or
Yeah.
like or the aspects of his stand, because that is like nothing ever happened to it because it stands so OP that it's kind of a hindrance to him because he doesn't understand what could happen if he doesn't, or like kind of slips up at many points.
So here's my fan theory about
Okay.
Toru being the main villain. So Araki was so angry that everyone hated the feng shui guy from part six that he was like, you know what? I'm gonna make the main villain of a part just the feng shui guy again, but I'm gonna do it better this time. Cause
Better
it's
and not use the word feng shui. I'm gonna
cause
use
like
calamities and name
yeah,
him
and
after Elvis,
yeah, we
and
had
not have
that
the stand
one
either be a
time.
disgusting looking old man in the JoJo universe.
Because we had that one time where um Rai said it in the prison. He
Oh.
said karmic retribution, and like that's like the closest to sort of like feng shui, I guess. I mean, feng shui doesn't make any sense to me at all as a stand.
Yeah.
Because feng shui is like I guess just more of like an abstract like religious
It's,
concept.
I thought it was more so like a luck thing as well. Like,
It certainly seems that way, doesn't it?
because feng shui is like, okay, this is gonna be a thing I know feng shui the most. In the original Animal Crossing, had a on GameCube had a feng shui thing with your house. So if you had your house organized a certain way, it would give you good luck in the game by finding you like a bunch of stuff like good furniture and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, from my understanding of feng shui mostly comes from like interior design as well.
Hmm.
And to me, it just like I mean, I don't want to harp on this too long, but I think it's I mean, I just don't understand the concept well enough how
When
it
we get
would
to the Part 6
work in a
anime
fight.
review, we'll get to feng shui.
Yeah, stay tuned in 2029 when part 6 gets animated.
Who knows?
Um but so okay, so that's kind of like what's happening though is like even though only one character said it one time, like Toru's whole thing is like he even here he acknowledges he's like I don't know how it works. Like I do not know what will happen to you.
I
All I know is that calamities will happen to
I
you.
don't know the calamity. I don't know what kind of calamity. I can't control that, but it will happen.
So that's kind of interesting. And like I think him calling off Wonder of You on Josuke is really interesting. Because it's like he's kind of like playing his last hand to try and get the the Rokakaka here because he's like he knows that if Yashiho gets like hurt by this big calamity, it will probably destroy it, and he wants it. So he's like, all right, give it to me. I won't hurt your precious boyfriend, but give me the freaking fruities, and then I'll leave, and you'll die.
Bye. Here comes the plane part.
I can't believe we already see the fucking plane in the sky. That's like crazy. Well, the
In JoJo
plane
time, they'll
door.
have plenty of time to talk about it before it actually like hits them. So,
I
go
okay,
ahead.
sorry, yeah.
No, go ahead. I was
I
going to
was gonna
continue on.
say I'm gonna predict that we are going to see the plane door smash into the earth by the next chapter.
Ooh, bold prediction.
That's
So,
my like my big brain prediction.
I didn't, my brain didn't put this together now, but looking at it, so the next thing we see is him like turning to like the wall, but he gets grabbed by the ghost hands of everybody that died in the room.
Yeah,
So this is them actually being dead because that's the ghosts of them grabbing him and talking to him.
yeah. So we see what we see
There's
two
three
of
hands grabbing
Mamizuku's
his arm.
hands, and then one of Kei,
Yeah. So
and
and that's when we get the thing again. The you gotta chase after him. You got something else in your spin, and the invisible things in your bubble that are not of this world. That he keeps saying like they're not of this world essentially.
yeah, yeah, you gotta do it, Josuke. You can't be Josuke anymore.
You
You gotta be Kira and
gotta
just
become
make it.
Johnny Joestar.
Basically, um,
Like so he made emphasis on they don't exist in this world. And I'm just like, are you talking about like those are the spin was like because like I mean spin was used to to store D4C, but like
it's it is an interesting choice of words. I'll give you
yes,
that.
because
These
like
things
I
do
think doesn't
not
this over like
exist
what
in
is this
this
D4C
world.
shit?
I
Like
mean,
parallel world
maybe,
shit?
maybe.
It's funniest Valentine gonna appear? Funnier Valentine gonna show up? Is he the man in the flashback?
You know, he kind. I mean, I joked about it before, but he kind of does look like Funny Valentine.
Funnier Valentine from George Joestar. We're getting a George Joestar pool, baby.
It would just be wacky bananas if like Steel Ball Run characters
It'd
just
probably be
started
funniest
showing
by this
up.
point, because funniest or can we go even further beyond funniest?
The most funniest
It's
Valentine
funniest. But
with
yeah,
the
so that's
ultimate
basically
laughter.
he basically gets a ghost message of the spin again, and saying that you can surpass him with his ability again. But yeah,
Yeah,
just the most important thing from it is just it not being others realm. We don't know what that means.
yeah, as I already said, like I get it. I
I get.
understand.
We're going to spin territory, so you can just go anywhere.
We are spinning hardcore.
Yes, bubble spin. So yeah, then we cut back to Toru, and like we said, explaining Calamity, all that stuff, and give him the vase. But then Joshu, with his tiny hand, gets to become jealous again. Obviously not being controlled by Wonder Review because he is lashing out against him.
Yes. So everyone who's like, "Oh, well, his face looked like the blah blah blah," no, look at his face here. Araki's just trying, like that face that he drew is trying to just denote craziness.
And
Jo-
Toru really tells him to sit down or take a nap or sit down in silence because like,
would you please sit down?
yeah, please sit down, you little baby boy. And then that's when his face becomes disgustingly like reaching at him with a tiny hand and all that shit. So like he's obviously like you think Wonder Review was actually controlling him, like he wouldn't attack the user like at all.
Well, maybe. I mean, like we don't know. I mean, I don't think that he's being controlled by
What
Wonder Review here, but
or he'll
like
get like he'll hit the Calamity will cause Toru to be hit by it, but the nuts coming out of Toru would be hitting Yasha or something.
yeah, it would just like deflect. But I don't know. I think what we're gonna see is we're gonna see the door hitting and killing Toru here. Like that is. So I think Calamity will bend back and hit him eventually. When that will happen, I do not know.
Yeah, when they figure out how when Gappy figures out a way to hit him or something. Because they're on the phone, probably on the phone still, so it'll be like, now go hit him or something, with Wonder if he's like all messed up or I don't know, something like that could happen.
Also, so yeah, Jobin or not Jobin? Jeez, I fucking wish it was Jobin. Joshu like reaches out his hand to like grab Toru, and he
Well, Toru
loses two
grabs
fingies.
Yashaho.
Hmm.
Toru grabs Yashaho, and that makes Joshu reach out for him.
Yeah, and Joshu loses his fingies.
He
From
loses
I
his,
guess some debris.
he
Or is it
loses
supposed to be like
one
a
finger.
leaf? It's
What?
I think it's like a leaf.
Yeah, it is a leaf. He loses just
Slices
one
his
finger
damn
and it
fingies off.
cuts the middle finger. So now he has one tiny hand and missing a finger. So now we gotta figure out like, how is he gonna recover from this?
Yeah, because okay, as I said before, I mean, this problem with doing all these monthly podcasts like per chapter is like we're just gonna repeat the same stuff. But we know that Joshi was fine. Like we know his hands are fine in the flash
And this is
forward.
all an
So
illusion
true. I mean, that would be frustrating.
because it seems like an
But
illusion world. Looking at what happens in the family household, it's like nothing ever bad happened like this day.
and there is so I did see the words that someone wrote down on the internet, and at first I cringed and reviled, but somebody did say, I think Araki will rewind time,
Hmm.
and I got upset by that. But then I thought like I guess that would solve the flash forward problem, but I don't
I
know.
don't like that.
I wouldn't like that.
I don't need time to be like messed up again at
Because
all.
like if we just want to compare it directly to like another time where time travel
Bites the
was like
dust.
yeah, Bites the Dust was introduced very late, but like the way that it's introduced is like great
And
and
the way
it's
it's
not
used
like
is that
bad.
like Kira doesn't know if it worked every time it rewinds, and he has to like figure it out slowly. So there's like that stuff there too.
And
Like
like yeah, the big thing that happens is like Rohan gets it blown up.
everybody gets blown up at one point of that.
Oh, that's true. But like, okay, maybe I need to actually just like read part four to see how the pacing is. But I feel like it happens so fast. It's not like we spend a lot of time. Like, imagine if a time rewind thing happened now. How far back would we go? Like,
Yeah.
it would be literal, like,
Oh, we saved
fucking.
Ojiro.
Yeah, it would have to be like pre Ojiro. It'd have to be like pre Rai going to prison. Um, it would be
Maybe them like
crazy.
in the hospital like after Wu and just like seeing Toru there casually, and then like before Wonder Review attacks them in the staircase. Maybe.
Maybe. Oh, maybe. Okay. I'm putting my time travel hat on. The first time
God.
they're gonna time travel back to the first time that they saw the Wonder of You with his different appearance with those arm blades.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't want to get in a time travel talk.
I don't either, actually. Thank you for
That's a whole
steering
we
away.
don't want to go through yet. Not until like we actually talk about like a part that has that shit.
So then we see
So he
Yasuo falls
basically,
down,
I think he
Toru
basically
grabs the
says
pot.
in the phone call that you have to pursue the head doctor. But oh, don't use that word.
Yeah.
And he basically just like has like basically a finger gun, a spirit gun, a bubble ready to go, and we shoot out at the doctor who's just sitting there. Like, he looks stationary, but he's probably just walking still. But it says he'll take him
Um,
down, and then that's when we pretty much, we get more of that. Just use the different bubble, use the different use the different bubbles you have in your on your fingertips. But then it doesn't come from his fingertip; it comes from his fucking birthmark. Which wasn't that the
yes.
first, and like the first
Yes.
time you see the bubble was from his birthmark.
Yeah, when he uh the first thing he ever does with his plunder ability is yeah, it comes off of his it's initially for a while the bubbles come off the birthmark, and then the first one was he blinds Joshu.
Yes.
Um so yeah. So this is very interesting. So like now we're seeing Josuke is seeming like mastering like a new ability. I shouldn't say mastering, but he's using a new ability as well as another thing happening. So, do we think that maybe like the beam that he's shooting is like a diversion, and then the real attack is going to be the one that's coming out of his?
Maybe that's like his tactic for like originally. So for the most part, to have a million bubbles and maybe most of them be a diversion or him slip up and hit one. So another thing it says is they can even overcome a curse. They can break the Hishikata family's curse and Hale-san's curse too.
This is like too much. Like this is like too fucking much.
Like, like
Why?
so now the spin is just the all curing thing.
Yeah, basically all
Unless
I
he's
have to
just
ask is just
referring, just
why.
like you can cure the curse just by killing him with this new ability, but like the way it's worded, it doesn't seem like that. But
So here's my like big thing that I've had in my mind, but I haven't said it because I wanted to see how things laid out. Like, why does Josuke have the spin? Like,
inherited from the Joestar family, I guess. There's no hint
but
that Akira or Jofume knew anything about it. Ray is the only person that knew about it, and not like we have and like maybe I don't think I guess maybe the people in that one town like knew maybe had an idea about it, but unless we get like the Lucy stuff revealed somehow through someone, like I don't know.
Yeah, so
I'd be really disappointed if the Lucy stuff never is fucking like shown.
it's just yeah, as it's just that one panel reference of like her going to
Get the corpse parts,
Morio.
maybe. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know.
Also,
I
like you said, that fog is like in that shot of it coming off at birthmark that you were talking about.
yes. So the other idea is that maybe that bubble is going back to heal K because I think it does seem like both K and Rai are dead though. That's my issue. It's like
Yeah, we had their ghost hands.
yeah, if we can't like if we can revive one, why don't we revive both? That's going to be the issue. Like
Combine
if
them
Joe's
both.
yeah, oh, Sam, you're giving me ideas. You're giving me crazy fucking tinfoil
The
hat ideas.
Yashaho fusion is not gonna happen in like the way we thought it was. So this one could be the new one to take place of that.
Yeah, dude, that would be
But the way they're building up the new spin bubbles seems it's gonna be used to defeat the head doctor, not just heal people. Because the spin never really shown to were they shown to ever heal people like that? Like I mean, other than Johnny Walk Again,
um.
like actually cure wounds.
He never does cast Cure Wounds on anyone.
Yeah, he only
Th
like able to walk after with the spin, but sure.
yeah, I mean, like we've reached a point where like the spin has such like an otherworldly like quality to
It's
it.
not like Haman that like we know can heal or do whatever they needed to do.
Exactly, yeah. Like explicitly, Haman is like a healing thing.
Unless it's
Uh,
not unless the secret that's in the bubbles is Haman
that would be
instead.
really fucking funny. Like he's been gaslighting us this whole time, thinking it's the spin, and it's actually just Haman.
Be amazing.
Except it would make no sense because Haman is breathing energy.
It's bubble
Uh,
energy. That's
also, I
what the
just
fog is. It's all that light energy like gathering around him and coating the bubble.
I just can't get
Maybe that's what it
over.
is. Maybe that's what that fog is. It's just like the bubble being encoded by something like kind of.
Well, we also saw like Born This Way was using its like freezing powers to like freeze things last chapter, but now it's not. It just
Well,
so
that would
maybe that was
crumple.
supposed to be like ice and like icy coldness in the air.
Hmm.
I don't know. At this
Who
point, everything
knows?
kind of feels a little arbitrary. It doesn't feel like anything is like destined to set up in like a big like when I'm talking about like stuff with Josuke, like I feel like it's just going to be the spin. Like I feel like we're not really going to get a better deep dive into it. Like he's just going to use the spin to solve these issues.
Yeah.
Um
Remember how long it took Johnny to actually like learn to use this? I mean, he's using it like he's shooting it like the fingernail. Like,
totally, yeah. That's definitely we're supposed to be like as a reader of JoJo, like that is the connection that we are supposed to be making here is
yeah.
like Johnny Joestar. Um
Except you don't have to worry about like having limited ammo.
yeah. So I'm just really I'm just really
Are you ready
confused.
for octopus looking soft and wet to appear when he gets out the golden ratio?
I don't know why you think that
Yeah,
Tusk
that's what
Act
happened when
4
you reach
looks like an
Act 4.
octopus.
He becomes like an octopus.
It doesn't though. It doesn't look anything like an octopus.
It just gets those like multiple leg look like a little like it's
It's just
a
like
skirt.
yeah, it's just like a skirt.
I just like to call it like that. God,
Damn, Sam, how dare you?
how dare I not?
I refuse to let you be happy.
How dare I call Tusk Act 1 a baby?
I will kill you. It's not actually baby Sam. It's a tiny elephant child.
With the pacifier.
Yeah.
The-
I just can't get over this fucking line. They can even overcome a curse. They can break the Gashakata family curse and
Yeah.
Allison's curse too. This is too much too soon. Like, why? Why? And like, it's one of those things that's like, yes, Josuke, the power of friendship was inside you this whole time.
You could have broken this curse like chapters ago if you understood what you had inside of you.
Yeah, it like actually kind of sucks because we know that Rai knew that it wasn't bubbles the whole time. Like, is there a reason why Rai didn't fucking tell him
Well,
before?
he's like, oh, it's just spinning string. Nothing weird about that until he's like, oh, wait, it went through my clothing and hit me. That's spin, obviously. Like that kind of stuff.
Speed.
Speed.
I don't know. I'm just like I'm coming in with like a negative energy right now. I mean, I like the chapter, but I'm upset.
Well, you have to see where it goes before you kind of have that feeling. Like,
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I try not to be too like conclusive when I'm reading JoJo because ultimately it's an ongoing story and it's
it,
not
it,
fair.
it can only connect to something else that you've liked in like a really satisfying way, but we just don't know it yet.
Yeah, and part of me thinks that it's not fair to judge it that way, but the other part says it is fair to judge it that way because unlike a movie, when I'm watching a movie, the whole thing is a complete thing. So when there's like a twist later on, it's like, okay, well, they had that factored in. In
Mhm.
JoJo, it's like, well, this is kind of like a product that is consumed like by piece. So like when I'm confused or disappointed by elements like this, maybe it isn't a good thing. Maybe I shouldn't be giving it this much leeway. I don't know.
It's understandable.
As I said though, like I'm not mad. I'm just feeling like this are awfully coincidental, a lot of
Yeah.
awful coincidental things.
I, Especially since there's like a limited number of fruit left, or like maybe this is just the way around it. I don't know.
And like so I've just been thinking about Chainsaw Man a lot. And like there's a lot of like so okay, I'm gonna mildly spoil a part of a very insignificant funny moment from Chainsaw Man. So there's that funny scene with the beginning of the International Assassins arc where one of the guys there's like a guy who's undercover
Oh,
who is trying to assassinate a character. If you don't know anything about Chainsaw Man, this doesn't matter. Basically, he ends up getting killed by a totally wacky, silly scene where a character that has never drive before drives a car and crashes into him and kills him. And it's very coincidental, but like, even though this is a big coincidence, it's funny and it's played for a joke, and I don't get mad at it. But like, now we have Josuke like, oh, your power has always been there. You can just solve literally like the big issue. Like the first page of JoJolion is, this is a story about breaking a curse. So it's like, okay, he could have done this in chapter 7, I guess. Like, what? I need more. I need more from this. Like, I
or even
need.
like during like the Johnny Joestar like history lesson, like said mentioned spin, you'd be like spin or something like just being like I don't know, something like that would have been like interested him or like cause like a bubble to like kind of react or something. I don't know. Like
Yeah,
that, if anything, if you want to tie spin to Gappy, that was probably would have been like the way to do that, or like, the time to do that, or hint at it. But
for real.
not when Ray like multiple chapters after that like reveals that his bubbles are just strings spun very fast.
Yeah, it just feels like we need to just have the Zappelli moment. Like, we just need to give him a Zappelli moment. Uh, which sucks because like part 7 had Zappelli moments throughout, and it wasn't like the I'm dying now
Yeah.
JoJo moment.
Well, overall, I guess were you like just kind of in the middle for this chapter reaction wise? Then
I mean, I think I've gotten more negative like talking about it, but I really liked it. Like, I'm very excited. I'm super hype.
yeah,
The tensions are high. Like, I want to see what happens.
yeah. It
I'm
helps you
just,
to vent out your positive and your negatives.
I mean, yeah. I like that I can come here and
And vent.
be honest. Like,
Yeah,
I want this to be like a space where I can be honest about JoJo because I'm always very positive about it and I like it a lot. But I'm this one line, like, I really don't like that dead ghost Rise just like coming to him like Bruno and saying, "Okay, Giorno, here's how we beat the head doctor," or "Here's how we beat King Crimson." Like, basically, what's happening here?
I think I mean the comments. I think you think what? How do you think that line will come in? Will come in? Do you think the spin will actually clear, or do you think it's like actually like heal somehow or not?
Yeah, commenters, let me know. Do you hate me? Am I overstretching
No.
my boundaries as a JoJo talker about her on the internet?
JoJo Talker. You don't want to call yourself a JoJo tuber?
Never.
JoJo Talker. Okay.
I'm a JoJo talker about her, Sam. I do a
Cool.
podcast about JoJo.
Yeah.
I,
Among many things.
uh, yeah, among many things, including a new one that I'm planning on doing. I
Oh,
always have the ideas for new podcasts, and I always want to do them, and they
hey,
happen all the time.
you did Crystal Men,
Yeah, that's on temporary, permanent hiatus. We'll
just
see one
like
day.
part three. So, all right. Any other thoughts you have then, or
No, let's wrap it up.
all right?
I mean, I do want to say, I think I already said my prediction. I think next chapter we're gonna see Toru die. We're gonna have a big plane part crash on him.
I think he will hit the doctor with the bubble, and then it'll just be an explanation of what's going on with it, and maybe another flashback with Toru in the past about maybe somehow being like going or learning about this spin or something. I don't know, or corpse
Okay,
part.
wait. Sorry, I do actually have a better theory. So we see Josuke shooting his spin bubble
Bubble.
at him. I think what's gonna happen is similar to like how Funny got hit by the spin and couldn't like escape it and like, everywhere. I think like immediately Toru is going to be affected by the spin, and that's what's going to cause the plane
Reverse,
part to
reverse the
reverse
calamity.
calamity and hit him. So
Okay, so you know how Johnny transferred the disease to him. So
the
what
rock disease.
yeah. So can Gabby can do that equivalent exchange then maybe with the bubble?
Ah, that's a good. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense to me.
Like I guess the only thing I can think of the spin being used for to heal or to, but even though that's kind of the same thing of just like the parents sacrificing themselves for a child. He's gonna have to sacrifice someone in a way, but unless like he goes to Jobin and Jobin's like just transfer it to me, like we said in our prediction for like in 2020
Yeah. Well,
review
that's the
and
thing though. Like the Ghost of Rai here is saying that the power can overcome the curse, can break the curse. He literally says break the curse, so that would mean that no more sacrifices.
unless he's using it to transfer his the calamity that's on him to the head doctor, and then, like you said, Toru, or the head doctor will trip on something and Toru will just get hit by the plane.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, unless we are gonna get a crazy time fucking
I
rewind
don't want time
soon.
travel. Not we're good. We don't need that.
Yeah, no, I agree, but unless we get that, I feel like I don't really know what
We don't really
else.
need time and space again. Part
Yeah,
seven
really.
somehow like just made Ringo like
An
like a
arc
mini
villain.
boss like arc like with time travel surprisingly instead of just making like a final boss. So I really at this point in the game I don't want that time travel in it.
I agree. I feel like
Only
Ringo
in
was kind of the
flashbacks.
yeah, Ringo is the ultimate like and from to me like the best version of time travel we've ever seen.
Yeah,
It's so clever and it's so smart, and that whole arc is just like peak JoJo. But yeah, whatever.
I agree.
Everyone already knows that. Everyone's already fucking read that.
Yes, everybody knows. So
Uh,
I guess
yeah,
we'd wrap it up then, or
yeah. I mean, I really don't have anything else to say.
same.
Other it was. I mean, I'm excited as always for JoJo chapter.
We're
Sad
excited.
to see.
We're excited to see where it goes. Kind of hesitant on some of the things said, or reveals, or
Yeah,
foreshadows.
I certainly have my reservations.
Yes,
Let me say that.
we'll hold our breath. But
Yeah.
all right. Again, guess everybody, thank you for listening to this episode. Be sure on if you're watching on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe. If you're listening on podcast, leave reviews and all that stuff. Helps out.
Yeah, if
Join
you're
the
on.
Discord, of course, to discuss JoJo among many other things in there. Check out, like we referenced a lot of times, check out our JoJolion 2020 with exports we did the other week or two
We actually did it like days ago, mere days ago.
days ago. I mean,
Yes.
I don't know when people are going to listen to this, so I'll try to link up the time. Um,
Well, it's coming out today,
shut
so.
up, shut up. And then, yeah, you can follow the podcast and each of us as well on Twitter. And I think that's everything.
Yeah, check the description. As Sam said, like all those relevant links are in there.
Hmm.
So yeah, thank you for stopping by, for listening to our stupid JoJo opinions.
Yes.
As always, leave your fucking fan theories and fun stuff in the comments.
Hmm.
We love it. We love to read it.
Yes, he does.
At least I certainly do.
He does.
Uh, yep. All right. So, Happy New Year, everyone. I know it feels a little late, but technically, this is going to be like the time that most people hear us since the new year
raise,
started.
raise your glass to the year 2021 of JoJolion.
Hopefully, not the last year.
Hopefully not, and maybe part 6 anime, who knows?
Yeah.
It'll
All
be a
right.
year of JoJo.
Year of JoJo.
Alright, goodbye.
Bye.